Hey, it's Adam from Next Level Radio, and in our second guest spotlight of the evening on June 3rd, Ben and I spoke to the multi-talented Naturi Naughton from the new Starz series Power. Naturi talked about her role on the new show, as well as what it was like working with executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, or as she calls him, 50. She also spoke to us about some of the differences in doing TV versus film, which of the two she preferred, and what she learned from being in the female hip-hop group 3LW, or Three Little Women, at such a young age. Make sure you check her out on the premiere of Power, which is on Starz this Saturday, June 7th at 9 p.m. and every Saturday at 9 p.m. For a recap of this interview, you can listen to us on the June 8th episode of the Next Level Showcast. And make sure you tune in to the Next Level Showcast, where you can hear myself and Ben live every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. For more shows and interviews like this one from Next Level Radio, you can go to nextlevelradioonline.com. You can go to facebook.com/nextlevelradioonline. While you're there, make sure you check out the details on our big summer contest. You can also follow us on Twitter at NXT Level Radio. And finally, make sure you subscribe to us on iTunes and YouTube. This way you can be the first to know when we post a new show or an interview. Thanks for checking us out, and I hope you enjoy this interview with Naturi Naughton from Next Level Radio. This is Next Level Radio. I'm Adam Gorey, joined by my co-host Ben Beck. If you're listening to us live, you just heard us talk to Jimmy Simpson a few minutes ago. And as we've been telling you all week, we have a double feature of Guest Spotlight tonight. And joining us now on the Next Level Radio hotline is actually another person who's somewhat local to us. You can catch her on the new original series Power, which premieres this Saturday at 9 p.m. on Starz. Please welcome to the program Naturi Naughton. Naturi, how are you?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm really good. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on. And like I had said, you're pretty local to us. You're from East Orange, New Jersey, right?
I sure am. I'm a Jersey girl, and very proud to be a local girl and a Jersey girl, of course. So you guys are next door neighbors, so it's all good. Yeah,
you're about East Orange is about an hour and 40 about from where both of us are. Ben's in Philadelphia. I'm in Allentown. But you're pretty close. You're pretty close up there, or at least when you grew up, it's pretty close to New York, right? Like very close.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I spent most of my time in Jersey, and then when I got a little older, I was taking the train to the city because East Orange is really easy to get. You can get to the city from Newark, and take the train or whatever you have to do. It's a quick ride away to the city, so that's pretty good.
Okay, cool. And the production for Power is in New York as well, right? Brooklyn, I think it was?
Yes, so we shot Power at Steiner Studios in Brooklyn, and it was amazing. To shoot in New York City is pretty special. But we shot in the Meatpacking District, we shot in, Queens, we shot in Brooklyn, we shot in Manhattan, of course, as well. So we were taking over New York City.
Is production all finished then? You guys wrapped?
Oh, yeah, because it's airing. Yeah, it's done. We're completely finished. We actually, the way Starz does it, they like to tape all the episodes before it airs, so we completely wrapped in April, so we're done.
Oh, wow, very cool. So now you got a little bit of time to relax and enjoy the show.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if I'm relaxing as much as just gearing up and getting people excited, and I've been traveling a bit, just letting people know about Power and getting people excited, which I'm excited about it. So
no, yeah, and it definitely I had a chance to watch the first episode at least, and it definitely has some great potential. I mean, I like the character development is really cool, and oddly enough, I thought there were, just watching the first episode, I was like, oh, there's really a lot going on, and then they throw another a screwball at you, a curveball at you at the end of the episode. You're like, geez, just when you thought that there's enough stuff going on.
I know, and that's the beauty of the writing in this show. I think these characters, the storyline, you can never really fully predict what's going to happen and where it's going to go. So I think our writer and showrunner, Courtney Kemp-Agbo, she really made this story, I think, interesting and fun to follow, because when you watch the next episode and the next episode, it gets deeper, it gets crazier, it gets better. So I'm excited.
So for those people that are listening right now who haven't had an opportunity to see the show yet, tell us a little bit about what the show exactly is and your character, Tasha.
Okay. Tower is basically, I mean, it's a 1-hour cable drama on Starz, and it's about this man, Ghost St. Patrick, and he's trying to leave his life of being this high-end drug dealer and transition into being a legitimate businessman and club owner. So, you know, it's really hard because he's struggling between those two worlds. It's like the dark world versus the good world, and there's a side of his character that wants to, you know, get right, and he wants to change. And I play his wife, Tasha St. Patrick, and as the wife, she's very much the, you know, the ride or die wife that I think is not really, she likes the life that they have. She's very, very comfortable.
Right. And I mean, you know, I won't go into specifics to not spoil anything to anyone who hasn't watched it. I do think, though, you can go on Starz.com and watch it now for free. I think I saw something before the premiere, which is crazy.
Actually.
Yeah.
It's so cool that you can go on Starz and you can watch it, you know, there's a Twitter link, and you can press play. It's been on Facebook. And then, you know, of course, you get Starz on demand as well, and then continue watching the season. But the first episode is available online right now, which, you know, people can watch, and people have been getting excited about it, which is really cool.
Yeah, that is really cool. And like I said, not to spoil anything for anyone who hasn't seen it, but I know personally, I was curious if your character, Tasha, had knew about Amari Hardwick's character, Ghost James, having that double life. And there's a point, you know, about halfway through, I will say, there's a point that you do find out what the answer is. But so because of that and a couple of other things that happen in at least the first episode, your character seems to be, you know, almost like a bit of a wild card. Would you agree with that?
I think my character is definitely unpredictable and can definitely come across, you know, like a wild card. She is not what you would expect. She's not the, you know, the typical wife who's kind of in the dark and doesn't know anything about what her husband is doing, because she's been a part of that world. She's been, you know, helping him build his drug empire. To be honest, Tasha is like, you know, to her, she feels like their Bonnie and Clyde relationship is what she loves about their connection. I think that she's unpredictable, and as the story grows, you're going to see some stuff that she does that shows how powerful she is as well. She's definitely a power player as well.
That's what I was going to say, because, I mean, in the first couple of, you know, a couple minutes of the show, it's almost initially made out to be like she's just kind of, you know, arm candy. But then as the show develops, you see that she's not just that, and she actually does have, she's very independent as well, even though she does support him and everything like that.
Oh, absolutely. It's really, I think that's what made this character so special, honestly. I felt like, you know, a lot of times we look at TV and we see these female characters, they're kind of like oblivious and naive and possibly even written, you know, dumbed down. And I think this woman, Tasha, is really smart, and she's very on it, and she's definitely not just the eye candy. She definitely loves the lifestyle. She's got the clothes and the hair. My wardrobe in the show is fantastic. But I think what makes, it's pretty amazing. But I think what makes her a little bit, you know, more complex is that there's a level to her. She has a dark side. She's got an edgy side. She knows what's going down, and she's willing to be the accomplice to her husband in his criminal activity.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, one of the big I guess parts about the show that they're pushing is that Curtis 50 Cent Jackson is a producer on a few of the episodes. Does he also do some acting in the series?
Yeah, he's actually a producer on the whole season, and he's the executive producer of Power. But he does do a couple episodes of acting, actually. So it's just a few episodes that he's going to be making a very special appearance in the story. And once you see how that all unfolds, it's going to be really exciting for the fans to see. But he does have some acting in the show, and I have seen a couple of his scenes in the episodes, and I'm really, really excited that he's in it as an actor as well.
Yeah, well, what was it like to work with him, both in production and on set? If you've done it, you know, if you did any.
Yeah, I didn't get to I didn't actually get to share any scenes with him, unfortunately, but I did get to be on set with him a ton as a producer. So my experience was really more like me as the actress, him as the producer and executive producer. And honestly, I had so much fun working with 50 Cent. He is very grounded. He has this joyful spirit. And it's like when he comes on set, all of a sudden, no matter how stressful the day is, he kind of gives us a boost of energy. He's really supportive. He loves to play around. He's very much a positive energy. And I just appreciate him being, you know, such a fan of mine and you know, giving me the opportunity to bring Tasha to life. So it's been a pleasure working with him.
What does everybody call him while he's on set? Do they call him like Fitty, or do they call him Curtis, or?
That is so funny. Everyone always asks, like, what do they call? What do you call him? Curtis, Fitty, 50. I mean, there's like 4 different versions. I just
Mr.
call
Jackson?
him 50. I know. I just call him 50. You know, 50. I don't say the Cent. I don't say, you know, Curtis. But I mean, I think he answers by many different names because he's so multidimensional. He's, you know, he's a businessman. He's a mogul. He knows how he's grown so much, and which is inspiring to watch him do so many different avenues and, you know, really work in different genres. So it's pretty cool. 50 is what I call him.
If I ever met him, I think just to throw him off a little bit, I'd just call him Cent. I'm sure not a lot of people call him.
Oh, that's funny. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Just like, hey, Cent. Just Cent.
He probably wouldn't even turn around.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Have you? I don't know if you pay attention to baseball at all, but being from you know, New Jersey, New York area, I'm sure you know the Mets a little bit. Have you seen his first pitch that he did?
That is the talk of the month. This was like apparently like the worst pitch ever.
It was up there.
That's what everyone keeps saying. I actually did see it. I'm not gonna lie. And I was just like, oh man. But you know, I can't judge. I probably wouldn't have done any better. But I was just like, they did something. They tricked him. They set him up.
Maybe it slipped.
I was like, maybe it slipped. Yeah. But yeah, he tried.
Have you seen him
since? He definitely has other talent. Yeah, I just saw him. Actually, I just saw him last night at our Power premiere. We had a premiere here in New York City.
Okay, you didn't bring it up at all?
Oh, not at all. No, why? Why would I go up to my producer of the show that I'm starting and be like, hey, I heard about that? No,
yeah,
I mean, he's so cool. He's cool, though. He would have probably laughed and be like, hey, man, what am I going to do?
Yeah, I was going to say,
you know, chill.
All of a sudden you find out your character's been killed off somehow.
I know, right? And then all of a sudden I'll be like, wait a minute, was it because of the pitch? Was it because of that? So, yeah, he's cool, though.
So, well, I mean, other than the liberties that, you know, that can be taken with language, what are some of the other benefits to doing a show on a premium channel, you know, rather than regular cable? What do you think some of the other benefits would be?
You know, I think, you know, with premium, I think you have the opportunity to really push the envelope in the storylines, you know, of course, language, some of the violence and how, and of course, sexuality. We can explore, you know, different things a little bit more in depth. There aren't as many restrictions, I feel like, in how we can play out the reality of a world where there's a drug, you know, there's a drug world and a club world. So there's going to be some edgy, dark, gritty things that you'll see throughout Power because that is representative of what's authentic in that world. So I think with doing a show like Power on Starz as opposed to, you know, on, you know, Fox or something, you get a chance to really explore all the different avenues in which these characters can be sexy, they can be raw, they can be violent at times, they can do a lot of these things and do it really to the, you know, the raw level. So I think Starz is really one of those networks that's excited about authentic material, and I'm glad that they have us on their network.
Yeah. I mean, outside of Power, you've also done a few feature films. I know you were in Fame, you were in Notorious.
Yeah.
Between doing the features and between doing television, is there one that you prefer over the other one?
You know, it's such a great question because I love film. I love, you know, the process of making a movie and doing all of those films that I've done was pretty special, and it made me a stronger actress. One thing I will say about television, which I've been delving into more in the last just couple of years with the Playboy Club, Mad Men, and now doing Power, I feel like I enjoy the idea of a character growing episode to episode. Television gives you life after, you know, as opposed to in the film, when it's done, it's done. The life span ends for the character, and you kind of have to resolve it all. But what I like about television is that you don't have to wrap it all up, you know, in 2 hours and, you know, or an hour and 30 minutes. You have the chance to see how this character makes a lot of adjustments, how she grows, how she digresses, how she falls. So I think that's really interesting to see. Television uses a really long line as opposed to just a short journey.
Yeah, that's a great point, because I mean, because of that, you know, they can develop so much. You see a lot more of a dedicated following to TV shows, whereas movies, people go see them and they like them and they praise them, but with TV, people really are big followers of it, you know, especially with Twitter now and everything like that, and live tweeting and all that stuff. I
agree, definitely. It makes a huge difference. And technology is changing, and so much, like you said, with live tweeting and all that, you know, the environment of the business and entertainment is evolving. So it definitely, you know, helps to have all those elements. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Now, I mentioned, like I said, I mentioned Fame and Notorious. You did some singing in those movies. You actually got your start singing around the age of 15 when you were part of 3LW.
I sure was. You're taking me way back to my teenage years.
Well, I mean, going back, you know, the way back, like you said, what experiences do you think you took from that to ensure kind of like how you succeed now in both acting and singing?
It's really good because being in the entertainment business as a teenager in a pop girl group, you learn a lot, and you learn a lot on the job. You don't get a book or a manual that tells you don't trust everyone, be careful with your money. You know, there's some grimy people out here that will take advantage of you and your vulnerability, especially being, you know, so young. I was 15 years old, and I would say some of the things I took away from that and learned was to, even though I enjoy my art, but to always know that this is a business. At the end of the day, you know, we all love to sing, and I love to perform. I've always wanted to do that, and I love to act, but it's still a business. And to make sure you recognize that you are a business in itself, you the artist, you the actress. And I took away also just to really dig within myself as a person and tap into what I went through with 3LW that may have caused me to question my talent or question my security. I really learned a lot after, you know, 3LW, where I had to realize I am, you know, something special, and I had to really say I can do more than just be the girl from 3LW. And I'm happy that, you know, my fans have embraced me after the whole 3LW split.
Yeah, that's not easy to do.
Yeah, it really isn't. It's challenging, and a lot of times people want to write you off and say, oh, you're just a singer, or you were in that girl group. So I've been fortunate to have built a career based on just, you know, the real deal, and try to show people I've got the goods to back it up, you know?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, well, I know we're getting to the end of our time with you, but usually what Adam and I like to do when we end our interviews, we like to end our interviews with what we call our rapid fire questions.
Okay, cool. That sounds fun and scary at the same time.
Everybody gets nervous by this. I don't get it.
Because when you say rapid fire, you can't expect people not to get a little nervous.
We gotta change the name to like Puppy Dog or something like that.
I know, or slow. You should call it slow breeze, like really easy. Slow breeze, like, because everyone wants a nice, cool, slow breeze.
Yeah. We'll call it the nightcap.
So, okay, I'm ready. I know. That's actually good.
Actually, that's actually not a bad idea. Yeah, so they're basically just a couple questions Adam's going to ask you. They're very simple. You could just answer with short answers. You don't have to go into too much detail.
Okay, perfect.
All right, first one up. What's your favorite time of year?
Summer.
Okay, and if, going back to your singing, if you could collaborate with one artist, who would you want to collaborate with?
50 Cent. What up, boy?
Oh, now your role just got bigger next year.
I know, right? See, I'm trying to expand.
What's your all-time favorite TV show? Past, present, doesn't matter.
Okay, so this is challenging. I would say past, the Cosby Show and Martin, but the Cosby Show's got to be a little bit. And present, Parenthood, which comes on NBC. It's like one of my favorite shows I'm obsessed with. And the future is Power. I think Power is, it's a dream to be on a show that's coming out this Saturday, so I would say Power.
I was going to say, if you said Power, your role might get even bigger.
No. Yeah.
Here we are.
You're now the executive producer.
And it's funny that you mentioned Cosby Show too, because that show, I still go back and watch old episodes of that show.
Oh my gosh, me too. It's
timeless.
That good. It's timeless, and it's just real good television with great storytelling and great family. I think we need to get back to some of the basics of just what that show represented, just for the country in America, not just as a black family, but just as a family.
Well, I actually, from what I heard, I know we're going away from rapid fire for a second, but I think he's actually bringing another show back to television.
Oh, Bill Cosby is?
Yeah, from what I understand, I think he's bringing another show back.
Oh, I can't wait. Well, I hope it has some of the same elements and resembles the Cosby Show, because that was just amazing.
Yeah.
Growing up as a kid, it was great to have that to watch.
I actually just watched the anniversary episodes the other day with the dances that they did.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, that's so awesome.
And Bill's the Philly guy, too, so of course we love that.
He's great.
Last one, okay. Where have you never been, but you've always wanted to go to?
South Africa. I've always wanted to go to South Africa, but I've never been. And
that's a far flight.
I know. I hope to go soon one day, and we'll see.
All right,
we'll make it happen. Yeah. Any other rapid fires? I actually feel like I did better than I thought I was going to do. That wasn't any pressure at all.
Yeah, see, they're not that difficult. They're very easy.
Not at all. So cool.
But we definitely want to send people to Starz this Saturday, 9 p.m. to check out Power.
Absolutely. Tune in.
Yeah, we definitely want to send people there. We want to send people to follow you on Twitter at Naturi Naughton.
Yes, that's correct.
And your Instagram, Naturi4Real, the number 4.
That's correct. Naturi4Real. Yeah, hit me up and shoot me a tweet. And while the show's happening, we'll be live tweeting. So just tweet me asking questions about Power if you want to know anything about wardrobe, hair, makeup, or the scenes itself. Just hit me up. It's going to be a fun journey, and I'm excited for this ride.
That's great. Awesome. Yeah, it's great that you're going to be live tweeting too during the
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So,
thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you, Naturi, for joining us tonight. This was a pleasure. This was great.
It was a pleasure. Thank you. I feel the same, and thanks for having me. I'm excited, and I appreciate you guys taking out the time.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah. To all of our listeners, be sure to check us out, www.nextlevelradioonline.com. Follow us on Twitter as well, at NXT Level Radio. Be sure to catch our Sunday show live, 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, in which we'll recap this interview as well as our interview with Jimmy Simpson. And until then, take care, and we will see you around the bend. Thanks, guys.